Chanel here, your menopause nutritionist. Today I just want to give you a bit of a update on my current situation post my back injury. So it's been 9 months since I severely injured myself at a CrossFit competition. And so I just wanted to give you an update on kind of where I'm at from a recovery point of view and from a lifestyle point of view and my current protocol, if you like, if you've been following along. And the reason I'm sharing this is because it is very common to have injuries and setbacks and challenges, especially in this stage of life. Like I'm 52, and regardless of what type of sport or workout or exercise you're doing, the risk for injury is there. Like it's there when we're younger as well. However, as we get older, we don't recover as quickly, and we may have some injuries or challenges that we actually just have to work around. So sharing these things hopefully inspires and motivates people to not let those things stop them and be able to realize we can move forward and still get our goals and achieve the things that we want to do and work around some of these things that we are facing with our bodies. Before I continue on into that update today, I just want to remind you my current Thrive program is going. I run it 3 times a year. So the last one will start in September. And if you want to master your nutrition and lifestyle, then that is the place to be. It is a 12-week program. It's split into 2 phases. Phase 1 is all nutrition. Phase 2 is all lifestyle. This is the blueprint for success. Not only now, but for the future. It allows you to get your body composition goals, to master your menopause symptoms if you're having any, master menopause really. So I will drop the link. Jump on the waitlist. That is how you can stay connected and updated. Actually, that just reminds me, I will email the waitlist today because I like to keep in touch with them and keep you up to date with the latest and what's going on. So this is just my reminder. Don't miss out. You get an awesome, very substantial bonus if you're on that waitlist, because the waitlist is the first people who get a chance to jump into the program. There's limited spots. So it's a good place to be. Okay, let's get into this chat today. So 9 months on, how are things going? I wanted to give you guys an update. So for those of you who might be new listening in over here, I was at a CrossFit competition, the Down Under Championships. So if you are in Australia and you're a CrossFitter, you will know what this is. It's probably the biggest CrossFit competition in Australia, and it's very hard to qualify for, and it's a really great competition, and I was there competing in it. And the truth be told is that I was carrying this injury going into it. My back had just decided to be bothersome, and I couldn't understand why. But in retrospect, it all makes sense, because at the CrossFit competition, I actually perforated my L4 disc, and this is what caused the big injury. Now, just to give you some context, I have an artificial disc at L5S1. So if you are interested in knowing about that and how I came to get that surgery, I've had that for 21 years. I have done a full podcast episode about that, and the choices for my issue, I had a degenerative disc, was either fusion or spinal fusion or artificial disc surgery. So back 21 years ago, it was very new and not many people had done it, but I decided to go that route because I have not to date met one person who have had back spinal fusion surgery that has not had ongoing issues. And if you're listening to this and you're one of those people, please message me. I would love to hear from you. I know so many people who have had that spinal fusion surgery and they are still having crazy crazy symptoms and issues going forward. But the reality of the matter for me was that over time, the artificial disc can actually wear out. It's not really the right thing to do, but I suppose it's not functioning the way it should be. So my flexion and extension was very limited, and what that was doing, because the disc had just it's just wearing down, if you like. It's like any other body part. They just wear out a little bit. It was putting load on my L4 disc. And it all makes sense now, but I didn't know that's what was happening. So this is what caused the issue. And I want to make that clear because I don't want to blame CrossFit for this. It was me not understanding what was happening inside my body. And I'll be fair that I've been at the psychologist about this, because then I felt stupid about it, not understanding, like there was some work that I had to do to recover that. And also just going from literally training CrossFit, 2 to 3 hours a day, putting so much time and effort into it, competing, and then that all kind of being taken away like very quickly. However, I'm in a good place in that respect. I did just do a trial at CrossFit a few weeks ago to see how I felt going back there, and I don't at the moment feel like it's the right place for me to be. So I was, after the injury, I actually had to have complete rest, and I wasn't allowed to lift. I wasn't allowed to do exercise. The only thing I could do was walk. I couldn't carry the groceries. It was the only thing I could do to let the disc heal. And I did that, and it was hard. And then when I was allowed to start lifting again, I have in February started that process of lifting weights again. So I pretty much was starting from scratch again, like very small weights, the little pink weights. And then I've built back up, and I did a calorie deficit from February through to June for 12 weeks because my body composition had changed, not exercising. And so I did what we call a re-body composition, where I lost body fat and I built 2 kilos of muscle in that 12-week period. So that was cool. And I love being strong, and I absolutely teach women that muscle is so important. It is the actual secret to longevity, and it's really the secret to thriving really in this stage of life. And not just this stage of life, it's going to stop us being a statistic in the current statistics for women, which are awful. So putting muscle in our body is the protective override to make sure that we're not those statistics. So I did that. I actually trained at home. I had a program done for me, and it was all going really well. So then I went back to CrossFit, and I only went for a week, and it just did not feel good. I think it didn't feel good because, one, I didn't trust things, like my body is in fight or flight, if you like, trying to stay safe. And so there's some overcoming issues there. The other issue I have with CrossFit at the moment is that there's so many exercises, and I'm scared about my control with that. And then also the factor that I've been at a very high level, and then to come back, can I just go and not care about it? And maybe I could, but I'm not sure. There's the emotional factor. And then the next part was just that the dynamic movement of CrossFit puts my body in different places, and you move very quickly in CrossFit. And I just didn't feel like that was the right thing for me. And that's not forever, but just right now. So I am doing more of a bodybuilding style workout. If you don't already follow me on Instagram or Facebook, you can see, because I post what I do on a daily basis over there. I also swim. So I started swimming when I was allowed to, And I actually really love swimming, and it's actually very hard for you. And I still, as much as I love lifting weights and building muscle, am a big advocate for working our heart. Our heart is a muscle. Our cardio system needs to be tested, and so swimming is great because it allows me to do that. So at the moment I'm swimming, I am lifting heavy again, but I can protect that. I can manage it, and I'm in control of it, and that's what's good. And if something comes up in my program, mainly it's things like abs. I'm very cautious about things like lower back deadlifts, those sort of things. I know how to work around those and be safe. And that's what I think is very important. So I have recently just joined a Globo gym, like a normal gym. And that's actually really good, because what I found was we have a gym at home, and as much as I love our gym at home, the convenience of it, I was taking so long to do my workout. I would put the washing on, and then I'd hang it out, and the dog would distract me, and then I had my phone and I was scrolling, and it was just this painful process that took so long. So now when I go to the gym, I'm very focused, I'm in there, I'm doing my program, and I think the change of scenery is really good for my brain. So I always talk to other midlife women when I'm there, because I feel like we have to support each other in the gym because there's so many young people. I randomly just go, hey, hi, we have to be friends because, we have to stick together. But that's just where I feel that it's really important to support each other, because it can be intimidating in there, with the young ones. And we have every right to be there building muscle as well. So if you are local to me, you'll see me, and I see you in there, I will definitely say hi to you. So that is the current situation. I feel like things are going really well. I'm still seeing my physio, who I have been guided with up until now. We are on 6 weekly appointments. So he is very happy with my progress. When that week I went to CrossFit, I feel like my back didn't love it. I also did an exercise that probably loaded my back, and I, for 3 or 4 days, felt the consequences of that. So there's still things I have to be very careful about, but I am still seeing him on a regular basis, and I'm really happy with that. I'm also running. However, I haven't run for a couple of weeks, but I'm intending on running today as part of my cardio. And I think I got to the stage where I started questioning everything I was doing. So is this right for me? Is it good for my longevity? Is it going to be the best thing for me to be doing? And I probably encourage everyone to think like that based on their body. After talking to a couple of people, it seems like running is actually really quite good for your back, believe it or not. So I will continue with running, and I actually really love running. So just for variety, so I will keep running, probably just once or twice a week, whenever I can fit it in. And I am having acupuncture. So I do still have, and I haven't probably spoken about this. So the reason that this was a little bit of a surprise was that I wasn't having a lot of pain in my back, even after I had perforated my disc. So we only kind of picked this up because I had an MRI 5 weeks after the injury. So I have some pain on my right side, and it's not in my back, it's to the right of my hip joint, I suppose. There's a joint there that when I had the x-ray that the surgeon ordered to check the disc. So when you have an MRI, it doesn't show up on the MRI. So I had to have an x-ray to check the disc, and that's where we saw that the flexion and extension wasn't really happening in the artificial disc, and that's what was causing the issue, or the pressure on my L4. and they showed a little bit of arthritis behind that joint. So I feel like the pain that I get, and it's not sharp nerve pain, it's just like a dull ache, is probably maybe the arthritis. But I'm seeing my acupuncturist and we're doing some dry needling and some work on it to see if we can manage it. I'm a real fan of acupuncture. So, and also now that I'm lifting heavier, I get very tight. So that helps me manage my muscles. But that is the current situation. So I do have some pain in that joint, but it is nothing I don't take anything for it. It's just there. It's kind of just one of those things. But apart from that, I love my sauna. I do that every day. I try and stretch. I'm doing my fascia program. So that also, I'm interested to see how my body responds to the fascia program. And I've just done a podcast episode with Ian O'Dwyer, who's done my fascia program. So I encourage you to listen to that when it comes out. So that is the current situation and the update 9 months after my injury. So I hope that this has maybe enlightened you as to where I'm going in my journey and where I'm at the moment. For now, I'm happy being at the gym, lifting, swimming, running. And actually Gary said to me when we were in the sauna the other day, he said, "Oh, do you miss CrossFit, or do you miss the partner workouts?" And I actually really don't. So maybe it was just time. And also I think when everything gets taken away from you, and you do not have any options, and it's not your choice. When I had to do nothing, no exercise, it was very difficult for me, especially if you're a person who uses exercise as their way of managing themselves. And it's part of your life and it's what you do every day. It was so hard. So for me, I'm just super grateful that I get to do the things I get to do now. And I'm building muscle again. I'm strong. I feel great. My body has responded. I feel good. I'm just in a place of gratitude for that. And anyone who has had major surgery will know exactly what I mean. When you have been through this sort of stuff, it really is humbling and puts you in your place. So I'm really happy and I am loving my current routine, and wanted to update you guys so you knew where I was at. So if you have any questions at all about anything I'm doing, or you would like to add to the conversation, or update me, or have any tips or tricks or questions, please do so. I would love to hear from you. And I will just remind you, there's a new recipe came out this week. So if you're not on my email list, the link will be here for that. And it is a caramel slice, so you're going to want to get that recipe. It's a really good one. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you being here. I hope you're having an amazing day wherever you are in the world, and I will talk to you next time. See ya.